Hello, Hoosier fans, Hoosier haters, and everyone in between. This is the Crimson Coliseum podcast. Now, today's episode, we're going to be discussing the big Week 12 power rankings of the Big Ten. Sorry for the late release. I've just been busy with a lot of things. Schedule got really tough, so this has been the best time I could really record for this stuff. So, had a bye week for Indiana, so no preview this week, no post game this week. I'm going to try to get the basketball review the past couple weeks up. I'm going to try to do that this weekend whenever I have time. So let's just get right into it. And one big change is I took out a tier of the rankings. You'll see why. Just because the Big Ten has been very, very weird. So tier five, not bowl contenders. Honestly, there's only one team in the not bowl contenders at this point in time. It's Purdue. 1-8, 0-6 in conference play. They're staying the same from 18. Offense ranked 16th, 320.4 yards, and defense is last at 446.4 yards. Last week they lost at number 2 Ohio State 0-45. And this week they're against number 4 Penn State at home. Yeah, no, this is not a fun stretch for them. And they also get another top 5 team. They got to go to Indiana in a couple weeks. So good luck. Not much really say about Purdue. Now to the bowl contenders. These are teams I think are going to get 5 to 7 or 8 wins. I changed it to 8 wins just because I think that's the max of what we're getting outside of the playoff contenders. At number 17, we have Northwestern. 4-5, 2-4 in conference play. Offense is 18th, 288.1 yards. Defense is 12th, 349.2 yards. Last week they were on a bye, but this week they are hosting number 2 Ohio State at Wrigley Field. Good luck, my friends. That's just going to be a very, very hard game. That just is what it is. It's going to be difficult. Not much to say there. At number 16 is Nebraska. 5-4, 2-4 in conference play. Staying the same from 16th. Offense is 11th at 354 yards, and defense is 6th at 308 yards. Last week they had the bye there. This week they're at USC, and they're on a 3-game losing streak. They need to win this game. Losing to Indiana, losing to Ohio State, that kind of makes sense. Losing to UCLA though, that's a bad one. They got to get some redemption here after the bye week. They have to. It's just very important. It's a very important game for UCLA too, USC too. It's very important. At number 15, we have Maryland, 4-5, 1-5 at conference play. Down one spot from 14th. Sixth ranked offense at 417.2 yards, with the 16th ranked defense at 379 yards. Last week they lost at number 1 Oregon 18-39, and this week they're hosting Rutgers. This is a must-win game for the Terps. To be able to go to a bowl game, they need to win this game. It just flat out is what it is. They just have to. That's all. That's basically it. They gotta get this win here. At number 14, we have UCLA, 4-5, 3-4 in conference play, up one spot from being ranked 15th. 15th ranked offense at 320.8 yards, and the 13th ranked defense at 350.9 yards. Last week they beat Iowa 20-17, and this week they're hosting Washington. They're at Washington, and they're on a 3-game win streak right now. Good for them. And if they can win one of the UCLA or the Washington or USC games, they have a chance to go to a bowl game. They do. It's not impossible. At number 13 is the also 4-5 is USC. 4-5, 2-5 at conference play. They're down one spot from being 12th. Offense is ranked 5th at 437.8, but 15th ranked defense at 370.8 yards. Previous week they were on a bye, and this week they're hosting Nebraska. This is a winnable game for them. Nebraska's struggling. They can get to 5 wins here. Play UCLA to go to a bowl game because they've got Notre Dame. They need to win that. Notre Dame being their last game, this game and the UCLA game need to be must wins to go to a bowl game. At number 12, I have Michigan State, 4-5, 2-4 in conference play, down one spot from 11th. 13th ranked offense at 345.8 yards, and the 10th ranked defense at 323.6 yards. Previous week they were on a bye, and this week they're at Illinois. They have a tough test going to Champaign, but in order to go to a bowl game, they're going to need wins, and this could be one of the games they could steal. At number 11 is Rutgers, 5-4, 2-4 conference play. They're up 2 spots from 13th last week. Offense is 8th at 383.6 yards, and the defense is 17th at 381.9 yards. Previous week, they won against Minnesota 26-19, and this week they are hosting Maryland, and they got one win right now. And they need to get another go bowling, and this could be a way for them to get there, get bowling and go for the rest of these games very easily. At number 10, I have Washington. It's staying the same at number 10, 5-5, 3-4 conference play. Seventh ranked offense at 405.5 yards, and the seventh ranked defense at 312.1 yards. Last week they lost at number 6, Penn State 6-35, and this week they're hosting UCLA. And obviously they were well, I wouldn't say they weren't. I believe they could win that game. They just absolutely struggled against a angry Penn State team. But they're going to need to find a way to win this game against UCLA because in order to go to a bowl game, they need to win this game because their last game is at Oregon. So they need to win this game flat out. At number 9 is Michigan, 5-5, 3-4 conference play as well. They're staying the same at number 9. 17th ranked defense at 290.1, and the 11th ranked defense at 335.2 yards. Last week they lost at number 8 Indiana 15-20, and this week they have a bye. They do have a break, but they need to beat Northwestern. I think believe that is their game before they go to Ohio State. Yeah, they're hosting Northwestern. They need to win that game. Flat out, they do. You get to 6 wins. At number 8 is Wisconsin, 5-4, 3-3 conference play. Ninth ranked offense at 378.3 yards, and the ninth ranked defense 308.1 yards. Previous week they were on a bye, and this week they're hosting number 1 Oregon. A very tough game against a very good team, but in Madison, in the Loud House, or well, at Lucas Oil Stadium, but in that arena, it's just anything can happen for them. It just is what it is there. I think they have a shot because it's at home. But a win against Oregon at home would be massive for them. At number 7 is Iowa, 6-3, 4-2 in conference play. Down 2 spots from number 5, 12th ranked offense at 347 yards, and the 8th ranked defense at 320.2 yards. Previous week they lost at UCLA 17-20. This week they have a bye. And Kyle, Iowa, every time I rank you high, you lose. Come on. Every freaking time. Can you not be so predictable? Please. The love of all that's holy. You got to buy this week. You're already bowl eligible. You got who do you have next week? You're at Maryland next week. Get a win there because you could easily improve your bowl standing and get a really good bowl. Because there's only 3 other teams with 6 wins, 2 other teams with 6 wins here. One of those being Minnesota, 6-4, 4-3 conference play. 14th ranked offense at 333.3 yards, and the 5th ranked defense at 296.4 yards. Previous week they lost at Rutgers 19-26, and this week they're on a bye. And the reason why I put Minnesota over Iowa is just because that loss is better. It's just better. Losing at Rutgers compared to losing at UCLA is just better. Um, Minnesota next week. The same thing goes with Iowa as Minnesota does. Well, they're hosting Penn State and then at Wisconsin. So that's going to be a rough end of the schedule. but they got to 6 wins, so that's pretty good. At number 5 is Illinois, 6-3, 3-3 conference play. 10th ranked offense at 356 yards, and the 14th ranked defense at 365.4 yards. Last week they were on a bye, and this week they're hosting Michigan State. And with how the Big Ten is, with a lot of teams in the 6, 5, and 4 win spots, basically everyone except for Purdue and the playoff contenders, just with one win, they could be in a really good position to go to a better bowl game. But do they really want that? Let's say Illinois wins out. They've got and they can win out because they're hosting Michigan State. They're at Rutgers and then at Northwestern. They could easily win out, get 9 wins, go to the Citrus Bowl. So positives there. And then for the top tier playoff contenders, number 4, I have number 5 Indiana, 10-0, 7-0 in conference play. Third ranked offense at 453.2 yards. Second ranked defense at 255.5 yards. Last week they beat Michigan 20-15, and this week they're in a bye. It wasn't pretty, but they won. They're 10-0, and now they're the playoff contenders, as I said before. And yes, they're number 5 here, but they just got to play close against Ohio State next week, and I think they're going to be solid. And number 3 is number 4 Penn State, 8-1, 5-1 in conference play. Same spot that we're as number 3. Fourth ranked offense at 444.7 yards, and the third ranked defense at 269.3 yards. Previous week they beat Washington 35-6, and this week they're at Purdue. It's an easy end of the schedule for Penn State. They got to win out though to be able to be in the playoffs though. You can't lose to these games. They can't lose these games. And number 2 is number 2 Ohio State, 8-1, 5-1 in conference play. They're still the same at number 2. Second ranked offense at 454.9 yards, and the best ranked defense at 250.8 yards. Last week they beat Purdue 45-0, and this week they're at Northwestern going to Wrigley Field. They need to win out to go to the Big Ten championship game, and so does Indiana. That game in a week from now is going to be massive. At number 1, still number 1, is number 1 Oregon. 10-0, 7-0 in conference play. Best offense at 457 yards. Fourth ranked defense at 293.5 yards. Previous week they beat Maryland 39-18. This week they're at Wisconsin. It's the top of the conference till they lose. That just is what it is. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, share on all platforms. I'm going to ask, where did I get a lot wrong there?